dive right into it. I want you to picture your typical workday for a second. The emails are absolutely relentless. Your messaging apps are just blowing up left and right. There are, three urgent crises happening all at exactly the same time, and you are literally sprinting from one back-to-back meeting to the next. It's an absolute storm. Well, welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a total game changer of a concept inspired by Kenneth Blanchard and Norman Vincent Peale. We're talking about the absolutely crucial skill of finding perspective when you are right smack in the middle of workplace chaos. Because here's the thing, from the center of the storm, everything looks equally important. When you're standing right in the dead center of that whirlwind, everything, and I mean literally everything, feels like a life or death emergency. A major strategic pivot? Emergency. A tiny typo in an internal memo? Emergency. Your stressed out brain processes it all as a massive 5-alarm fire. You're just reacting, totally terrified that if you stop for even a single second, you're going to lose your edge.
So let me just pause here and ask you something. When was the last time you intentionally went nowhere? And I don't mean waiting in line for coffee or, sitting in traffic. I mean purposefully doing absolutely nothing. No phone in your hand, no running through your endless to-do list in your head, just sitting. For a high-performing manager, this question usually bruises the ego a bit, right? Because our culture tells us that nonstop motion equals value. But as we're going to see, that is a really dangerous illusion.
When you actually step back, we're talking just 5 meters away from the center of that storm, your perspective radically shifts. You suddenly realize that half of that immense pressure you've been carrying on your shoulders, that's just the wind. It's the external noise, the circumstances. But the other half, that is entirely in your head. It's your internal reaction to the wind. Stepping back allows you to actually see that and separate the two.
Section 1. 3 small rituals.
So how do we actually get that 5 meters of distance when our lives are so incredibly packed? Well, the great news is that getting this vital perspective doesn't require some grand gesture. You don't need a week-long silent retreat in the mountains. Perspective is really just a daily discipline built on micro habits. And any single one of these 3 rituals, if you just practice it for 5 to 10 minutes, is completely enough. Number 1, a walk alone, maybe just in a nearby park. Number 2, keeping a journal. Literally just writing down your thoughts vulnerably. Or number 3, simply sitting in silence by a window, just breathing and looking out. That's it. It's a very quiet, gentle practice.
But listen, there is one absolute ironclad, unbreakable rule for any of these rituals to actually work. 0. 0 screens allowed. None. Zilch. No quick email checks while you're walking, no podcasts playing in the background, no scrolling social media while you sit by the window. If you bring a device, you're literally just bringing the storm with you. You have to disconnect if you want to reconnect with your own thoughts.
Section 2, the power of solitude. This brings us to the real philosophical anchor of this framework, which was championed by minister and co-author Norman Vincent Peale. He deeply understood the profound inner mechanics of effective leadership. He said, there is power in solitude. It sounds incredibly simple, almost too simple, doesn't it? Yet Peale identified this one simple idea as the absolute foundation of ethical business power. Without this discipline of stepping away into solitude, well, all your other management principles just kind of melt away into the daily grind. Now, we really need to clear up a common misconception here, because for the constantly moving manager, the word solitude can sound a whole lot like loneliness or, unhealthy isolation. That is definitely not what this is. Solitude is a deliberate, excuse-free zone. It's a vital moment carved out purely to hear what your own mind, completely freed from all that external pressure and those constant demands, actually has to say. It's about tuning into your own internal wisdom. Section 3, perspective in the calendar. Let's bring this back down to a grounded, everyday corporate reality. The biggest resistance you're going to feel toward getting this perspective isn't actually a lack of time. Come on, we all have 10 minutes. The real resistance is a lack of scheduling, because if it isn't in your calendar, we all know it is never going to happen. Someone else will absolutely steal that time. So you need to literally block out a square, just like a 10 to 10:10 a.m. slot, and boldly label it perspective. You've got to book this time as an unbreakable meeting with yourself. Treat it with the exact same respect you'd give to a meeting with your absolute biggest client. 10, that is the magic number. Just 10 minutes a day. It's an incredibly small, totally achievable daily commitment. I mean, think about it. We spend more than 10 minutes a day just staring at our emails, trying to decide which email to open first.
Yet, the massive clarity, focus, and perspective this tiny daily investment returns to your decision-making process, it's absolutely immense, a total game changer.
Section 4, 3 key questions. So, you might be wondering, what do you actually do with your brain during those 10 minutes of solitude? Well, during your reflection time, use these questions to guide your thoughts. And a quick caveat right up front, you don't necessarily need to find the perfect answers to these every single day. The true value is simply in making sure the questions are being asked. Question number 1. What is really important today? Really think about that. Not what's loud, not what's flashing red in your chat app. What actually moves the needle? Asking this forces your brain to physically and mentally separate your actual, genuine priorities from that deafening daily noise. Question 2. What shouldn't happen again tomorrow? Now, this one should sting just a little bit. It pushes you to look honestly at your boundaries and your friction points. Where did you drop the ball? Where did you let a process completely break down? Or, let someone cross a line? Identify it in the quiet so you don't blindly repeat the exact same mistake tomorrow. And finally, question 3, what did I choose today and who was on the other side of my choice? I really want you to leave this explainer thinking about that one. Every single business decision ultimately impacts a human being. Did you act with integrity today? Did you truly walk your talk? We are going to dive much deeper into aligning our actions with our words in our next explainer. But for now, take those 10 minutes tomorrow. Step out of the storm, find your perspective. See you next time.